Hi, I'm Jane Richardson, International Lead Makeup Stylist for NARS Cosmetics. I'm here today to show you how to get that beautiful, bronzed, just kissed by the sun look. So start off by hydrating the skin. It's very, very important to create the best base for the complexion products. Nikki here has very, very warm skin, especially across the cheeks at the moment. So I'm just going to reduce the amount of touch that I have, but I'm going to use it and incorporate it into the look. I'm going to start first by using the Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer. A small amount goes a very, very long way. First, apply in the center of the forehead and massaging it into the skin. This whole look is about fresh, sun-kissed skin. You want to make sure that you're not using it too much, it's not disappearing into the hairline or sitting there too heavy. It looks like you, just a little bit thinner. So we'll just put it across the nose. And you can see it just blends so beautifully. Gives you a radiant finish. And it's easy to apply. So we're just going to apply that underneath the eye. Don't worry, if you've got a little bit of makeup remnants left over, you can always use that into your look. Because you've been hanging out on the yacht and having a lot of fun. Maybe you haven't got much time to take your makeup off. It's all good. So we're just going to apply it over the cheek area, just really gently, and then just blending it down. You don't need to apply it all the way around it. If you do have the odd blemish, that's where concealer can come in. So same on the other side. Just go underneath the eyes. And over the cheek area. Use your fingers, makes it easy. Your sponges do tend to absorb your product. Your product will therefore last longer if you do try using your fingers, but if you are a brush or a sponge fan, then that's absolutely up to you. But at NARS, Francois NARS himself uses fingers, and all the products have been designed to be applied in that way. So I'm just going to use the Radiant Creamy Concealer. And I usually use two. I'm using Custard, which has a yellow tone, and I'm using Honey, which has a little bit more of the pink. If you do have a little bit of blue underneath the eye area, you might find that the pink tones will knock that off. So I'm just going to mix a little bit of those two together and just place it underneath the eye area. Again, using my fingers. Use your ring finger because it has the softest touch. It's very easy just to mix. Don't apply it the same amount all around the eye area, especially if you're a little bit older, as that can actually create sort of a puffy effect. So take a look in the mirror before you apply it and just work out where you need it more. Just place a little bit in here. You can see the Radiant Creamy Concealers have a wonderful texture. They just sit on the skin so beautifully. Depending on your skin type, you may not even need a bit of powder. So I'm just using it to take away this redness underneath. I know that this is actually the warmth of her skin is actually going to come through again. So it's just worth, if you do have any redness over the cheek area, don't use blusher that day. Let your natural skin color do sort of flush for you. So again, just working on the other side, mix the two together. Apply and just see it just blends so easily into the skin. Now if you do have high colouring on the cheek area and you are using concealer, you will need to set with powder. Otherwise the heat will actually melt the creamy products on the skin. I would invest in the classic NARS loose powder to give you a beautiful soft finish. I'm just going to use a tiny little bit on the eyelids. Close your eyes. I just find it gives you a fresh, open eye look, but you can either do this or not. It's totally up to you. At NARS, we don't sort of set the rules. As artists, you can apply products in many, many different ways, and we would encourage you to do that too. Be your own makeup artist. So backstage, you'll see us applying a powder with a brush. And for the most part, the models have great skin, and we want the look to last for as long as they go to the end of the makeup and then come back. For us, in the real world, we want our makeup to actually last a very long time. So if, and depending on your skin type, if you are a little bit more oily combination, then invest in not only a primer that will help to lock down the foundation for longer, but make sure that you're actually setting with powder. Most of them are a little bit afraid of powder, but in the makeup world, it's what really works. If you saw Francois actually using it, he uses quite a lot. Just rock and roll it into the skin. I'm using a cotton bud pad here just because that's what we have at the moment. Normally I would apply it with a powder puff. And just apply it where we've got that coverage. You can see, by working it in, it just has this beautiful soft effect. Gone are the days when powders were drying. They are hydrating, and they really will complete and help you do a beautiful makeup. Just rocking and rolling it in. It's worth taking this time just to work it all in together. And then you can use your brush to dust away any excess powder. So just apply it where you normally get a little bit oily, and then apply it back on. Now, as we get older, when we have more lines, we want to avoid the powder, but specifically in this area here. Nikki's very young, she doesn't have a problem. Just look up. You can see there's always, concealer will always sit in the lines. We have to remember that we look at our faces very, very closely. The world sees us from much further away. Just look up, so it's worth just still doing this. I'm just using the powder and just using a brush to gently push it along the lash line. As I say, if you're older, just avoid this area here. And just close your eyes. And I'm just going to put a little bit over the eyelid. So pick up your powder and then just take away any lines that have formed. The concealer will always settle into lines. This is why you just need to invest in good eye cream just to keep the area hydrated, so that any makeup you're putting on looks its best. Avoid this eye area if you are a little bit older. Just use that powder and just close your eyes. Again, just take away any creases and just blend. Here we go. So what I'm doing now is actually using bronzing powder to warm up the skin. And one of our biggest selling bronzing powders is Laguna. But I'm actually going to use another bronzing powder from the Irresistible Milk. It has actually got a little bit of a red tone. Francois actually created it to give you that eye to just come off the peach look. So pick up your powder, pack it in, and the idea is that I'm pushing the powder into the hair. So that means that you're actually going to deliver. It means that you're actually going to deliver less product onto the skin to make less mistake. If you go straight from the actual product and go straight to your face, chances are you're getting a nice blob and you're trying to use your fingers to wipe it away. Okay. Remember that you control the brush. If you push back on your brush, you will kiss the skin and deliver less product. If you come to an area and you want to create more depth, you can push the pigments in the hair, so then you'll actually be able to deliver a little bit more. So remember that you can control it. I'm just going to apply it where the sun hits the face, so across the forehead here. So just look at the highest planes of your face. It doesn't always have to be in the outer corner. We want it to just to kiss the skin across the nose here and the chin, and then I'm just going to use it across the top of the cheeks. Just beautiful cheeks here. Don't use your bronzer as something to contour all the time. You can, but just remember we've got beautiful contour blushes that can do that for you and bring more strength. This is more about how the skin looks and feels. Picking up a bit more of the product, packing it in again, and then you just build it up to whatever level. So remember, this is more about, I've just been lying on my yacht and caught that sun. It's that most beautiful, the way your skin looks on those holiday photos. It's just stunning. A little bit on the top of the eyelids. And I'm just putting it here just to bring that look together. If you are just focusing on a couple of products that day and creating a specific look, it can help just to put that on the eyelid. And then we just want to bring in a little bit of the sheen, because this is the sort of luxe side to the skin. So this is the multiple stick, one of the most iconic products from NARS. These are for the cheeks, eyes and lips. So again, just using your fingers, super quick. Copacabana here will give the highlight that we want, and then this is Maldives, which will just give us a little bit of extra depth to the skin. And I'm going to use that on the eyes and the lips specifically. So we're just going to apply the Copacabana, and we're going to apply it just on the nose. And I just want to do that before I blend so you can actually see it. Obviously when you're highlighting, it really does depend on your bone structure, so have a look at your own face. Sometimes it's worth moving just to see where the light is hitting, so you'll pick up on where your natural highlights are on the skin. We're just going to apply the multiple sticks here and here. Just massage it in. It's so easy to use. Cheek area. Blend, blend, blend. So we'll do the same on the other side. Just pick up here. Hairline. Brow there. Kick the top of the cheeks. If you have oilier skin, then switch to an illuminator, which is the gel version. You don't need a lot of them, so use tiny, tiny amounts. Whenever you buy a new product, take it home and try it the night before. Don't wake up in the morning and just try and put it on. As makeup artists, we test the products, so be your own makeup artist. When you start playing, you'll discover more. You'll discover more about the products, how far you can stretch them, where you can use them. You'll also discover, more importantly, about your own bone structure. I'm just going to use Maldives now, just on the eyelids, just to enhance that lovely sun-kissed look. So when you buy the multiple sticks, don't forget they offer the cheeks, eyes and lips. Use them as bases for eyeshadows. You can use eyeshadow powders over the top. I'm just going to use them as is today. Don't worry about it being so perfect. Mess it up a little bit. Sometimes when you do that, it kind of creates a more modern effect. So I'm just using Copacabana just to highlight across the top there. So we can do a little bit just on the wall of the eye. So again, just tapping it on the skin. So again, just tapping it on the skin, just to give you that lovely, fresh look and feel.